Welcome to the Front Stretch Race Fans, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, online at joeskarting.com. Fast-paced white knuckle racing just across the river on 23rd Avenue. Get over to Joe's Karting today. Do yourself right with a little indoor kart racing. Joining us for a Lyle's Tire and Wheel interview at the World of Wheels. Big thanks to those guys for letting us come out another year and having an absolutely packed interview schedule. Thanks to Lyle's Tire and Wheels for supporting us this year and helping us get up and down the road. They can help you get up and down the road with wheel alignments, balancing, nitrogen inflation to help with pressure fluctuation. They can also hook you up with the largest showroom of rims and wheels. It's all available at 84th and J Street in Omaha. Also online at lylestire.com. You can find them on social media, Lyle's Tire and Wheels on Facebook. Joining us on the show now, driver of the 2A Sport Mod throughout the area and local Nebraska realtor, owner of Avid Realty, Theron Ahlman joining us. Bristol decided she didn't want to hang out with us hooligans.
Well, she really did want to come. They scheduled her basketball banquet this afternoon, multi-sport athlete. And so she did say she wanted to come here instead. I said, no, school always comes first, teams first. Yeah. This is just talking to us. And I probably wouldn't let her talk much anyway.
It's a big deal for a person to come talk to the Front Stretch.
It is. And she got to do she did a interview with the women's racing lady out of like Michigan, and really cool. So she got to be a part of that.
Nice.
So she had her.
That might have been that lady we talked to.
I think it is. The one that does the magazine.
We did a stretch 6 years ago, or so. It was before COVID.
Was it that long ago?
Women in motorsports.
Right.
And I think we talked to that lady. We talked to the gal that, Sammy, that was a Goodyear tire tech at the NASCAR races. And but, yeah, we talked to a bunch of different women in the sport. And
had Bristol been racing, we'd have talked to her too.
Absolutely.
She's pretty young 6 years ago. How old is she?
She just turned 14 in November, end of November.
So she's going to be racing a hobby stock or stock car?
She's going to a hobby stock.
Okay.
Whether it's the smartest thing we've ever done, I don't know. We did karts for, it was 4 or 5 years. Did pretty good. She did get a win, not this year, but the year before. And we just kind of frustrated a little bit with it, ready to move up, try something different. I don't know that Mom loves it either, but yeah. We're just going to see. We're going to start at the back of the pack and just see what she does. I mean, I'm a little worried because she'll probably race with not worrying about Dad's wallet under the gas pedal like I do. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. She might get after it.
And that might be a good thing. You've said a couple of times, maybe part of the reason why I was actually involved in that was because I was a little too timid. It's interesting to kind of watch that, like, you're the guy that pays the bill, so you might be kind of going around going like, nope, and causes issues where she'll just sail it in there and win the race.
Yeah, you never know. And that is what's tough, because even on my end, I'm also older, and I've got a lot of responsibilities. You got kids, so there's definitely times, guys sliding up to the wall, you might let off the gas a little bit. And I'm doing this for fun. I'm not good enough. I'm out there. The reason I'm back to racing is after, I raced figure eights for 10, 12 years, did very well, won in all the different divisions, and then quit. We did the boat thing and then got her into kart racing and then Gage. And I got the sport mod more to start learning it for her. And then now that I've driven it, I'm like, yeah, we're not jumping you right into a sport mod.
Well, and for her, going to a hobby stock as opposed to going to a compact. Obviously, Eagle doesn't run the compacts anymore is one thing, but a lot more is going to transfer over from the go-kart to a sport mod or a hobby stock because they're all rear-wheel drive.
Yep.
As opposed to the front wheel.
And what's been interesting, too, is, we did the iRacing a couple of years ago. I didn't love it, probably not smart enough to figure out how to run it. But we bought an outlaw racing game for the PlayStation. Took the steering wheel downstairs. First night she's down there, and she's just flat-footed, sliding sideways. It won't turn and everything else. I'm like, well, number one, it's not a go-kart. So you got to turn the dang wheel to the right. 2, let off the gas, And it took her about 40 minutes to get to where she got a fast enough lap to where she got to go on. Within about 40 minutes after that, she hollered upstairs, I won my feature.
Wow.
And then she's been going down there kicking Gage off a playing whatever games he's doing on it. She's racing, and now I think she said yesterday, she's like, I won my last 3 features, and she's kind of doing the season thing. So
she got into a rhythm.
Yep, she's kind of learning. I'm like, every track's different, what you're letting off and what you're doing. So it's pretty cool. It's probably the best $20 I've ever spent on that for her.
What take me through the decision for hobby stock? Like, I guess the only reason why I'm thinking this could have gone the way was, did you come across a hobby stock and you're like, this is a great deal, so we're going to put her into a hobby stock? Or was that the plan from the get-go, is cut your teeth in a hobby stock and we'll move you up?
No, it always was a sport mod. I mean, that's why I bought that sport mod. It's her sport mod. Should be hers this year. I'm not quite ready to be done yet. So we had to find her something. I found some sport mods I really like. The biggest thing with the sport mods, there's so many adjustments, with bars.
As opposed to a hobby stock.
Correct. There's bars you're messing with, and tires, and just there's a lot to it. Where the more I talk to people and kind of watch, like the hobby stock's pretty, I hate to say simple, but you get the setup in it. She can go out and just cut laps. And a sport mod, it's tougher just to let off the gas, cruise through the corner, and get on it. You almost have to stay on the bars and keep it going. So she can really let off, probably cruise through the corner a little bit, and hammer down again. So I'm hoping it's pretty easy. We'll probably make it where it's tight, not tight enough that she can't turn, but I don't want her out there just spinning out and just see what kind of happens. You
being the title sponsor of the sport mods out of Eagle for the last couple of years, you've become friends with a lot of sport mod drivers. So you've got guys that you can lean on. Who are you relying on to kind of help with the hobby stock?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's interesting. I've been around now racing for a lot, and when we first looked at some hobby stocks, I'm like, man, these are about like my old figure 8 cars. There's not much to them. If you really kind of look underneath them and they're pretty basic. But when we got the one home that we got, I'm like, I kept looking at pictures online. I'm searching all the time to figure out, well, how do the doors work? How are guys doing this? And then I've learned you just kind of beat the crap out of things and make it fit more where we're finessing, it seems like, on the sport mod. But, probably the biggest thing, Kyle Vanover, even on my end on the sport mod, has been Kyle Vanover.
I haven't heard of her.
Yeah, you haven't? Yeah. Does pretty good.
Especially Beatrice.
Yeah. Well, he's my shock guy. I run Speedway shocks. I don't spend a ton of money on that stuff, but I love that I can go down there. If I wrecked one, I could go get it off the shelf. So I asked him questions. He also, years ago, helped scale my figure 8 car long time ago. So he's always been helpful. And then at, Beatrice at the Fall Nationals, we parked next to him, helped a lot. So he's been uber good, ask him a lot of different questions and that, and he actually got us a pit stall for Beatrice this year, because our goal with her is to race for points. I got to be careful of that because Mom's always been agreed on it. We'll never ever race for points, but we're going to go to Beatrice. There's already 2 or 3 weeks she will miss, but she's going to run full time at Beatrice this year is the game plan.
Do I need to cut that out so you don't get in trouble?
I don't care.
Okay.
At this point, what's she going to do? I never imagined when we moved from Davie into our house. Thank goodness I built a decent-sized garage, but I never imagined 2 race cars would be sitting in the garage and that. And,
Well, good news is I know a guy that can probably find you some land.
Yeah,
His name's Kyle Gabriel. He's fantastic.
Yeah. We messed up on an acreage last summer that had a 50 by 50 or 60 by 60 building on it that the RV would have fit in, like everything would have fit in and that. So we're looking, but
always looking.
Yeah.
All right, for you this year, you said Bristol's going to try to run full-time at both Beatrice and Eagle. What's your plans for this year?
I'm just a mix, a little bit of everything. Everyone keeps saying I need to be at Eagle all the time. Problem is, this is my 5th year to sponsor the Sport Mod division at Eagle. What comes with that is getting to sit up in the VIP and drink and relax. And with everything I have going on, I need some time that I just sit, relax, and do nothing. Yeah. So it's hard for me to go race every week at Eagle because, A, that's the best track to go watch a race at. Great action. Being up on the deck, it's fun. I get crazy announcers that run through the VIP beforehand and everything else, and it's fun. And it's also an opportunity to somewhat schmooze, network, bring different people out there to get to know Avid Realty, us, meet people. I mean, that's how I got to know Matt with Empire Fence and that out there. So that's kind of I don't know. I know for a fact I'm not racing the Avid Realty nights. That's my goal. Won't race those nights out there. I'll race some of the specials. We'll hit there. We'll hit US 30. We might go to Albion. I've even got on my schedule, we might go down to Concordia, Kansas, and go try it a few times. Biggest reason for that, they had, I think they averaged like 10 sport mods. The guy that won at the championship the last 2 years isn't going to be there. Sean Hine moved up. So, hey, I might be able to luck out and get me a top 10, even if there's only 10 there.
Even if there's only 8 there, I can get a top 10.
Exactly.
I had a driver that always come up to me and go, hey, I got a third place finish this week. Sweet. How many cars was there? 5.
Yeah.
Did 2 of them transfer? No.
Yeah.
They didn't make it out of the heats.
You know, and it's just all about getting laps. It's about having fun. You know, I could spend more on the car, but I'm not. I'm kind of a tightwad on that end. And
you know, because it's not, I don't want to say you're not serious about it, but it's supposed to be a fun thing for you.
Yep.
And this is such an addictive sport that you get addicted to that adrenaline, and before you know it, you're working on the car every night in the shop. You're stressing out over, why is this not working? Why is the car acting like this? Why am I not getting wins? And it loses that fun.
Yep.
So it's tough. You got to be able to pull back and say, I need to take this week off and go sit in the VIP booth and have some fun.
Well, and that's just it. I don't want to race every week. I need time off. And B, working on the cars in the garage is kind of get my mind away from work and everything else that's going on. So if that becomes where it is not fun and it's another job, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you still going to do the Avid Realty parties?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Those are fun. Yep. I don't get down to them nearly enough because I always, like, when I get to the racetrack, I'm like, I need to go up to the booth and get ready. And I certainly don't need to go down to that party down there because that'll make the opening of the night of racing a little bit hazy. But
well, yeah. So we always do the end of the season race party, the last points night, and that started probably 6 years ago, I think it was, when I sponsored Cole Wayman, and he won the championship, and he had it locked up. So we threw a party really to celebrate him winning the track championship that year. And then it just happened, all right, the next year let's have a party. Well, now it's always we're celebrating end of the year kind of party. And I will say that is what also kind of half drives me nuts of that I do race out of Eagle. You know, when I wasn't racing, we'd hang out at the camper before. We were cooking, and it was just a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Well, now, like last year, we hardly ever stayed out at the camper that Friday night. It was some Saturday nights after we raced, but it's just the racing has kind of taken that funness away.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting that mix back in.
we've been talking with Theron Ahlman, driver, the 2A. What's Bristol's number going to be?
She's 29.
29, that's right. Her cars
Nice.
are both the cars are on display at the Eagle Raceway booth over here at the World of Wheels Car Show back in March, which doesn't matter because this is publishing after that event. But next year, hopefully you guys will have it on display again, and mark your calendars to make sure and come down. Thanks some of those great sponsors that are helping you along with Avid Realty.
Yep, absolutely. So, of course, we got Avid Realty, Theron Ahlman, and I always do make that distinction between people because Avid Realty does the Sport Mod Division Eagle, and then Kyle does his cars, I do my cars. Our other agents can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that. So we got obviously myself, and then Weber Home Inspections, Empire Fence. Matt is amazing, and he's more Bristol sponsor than mine. I just throw his on my car so I look cooler. And that. Then this year he brought on his Unlimited Sports Solutions and ESC with us. I got Classic Wood, Brooklyn's Hair, my wife's business, Fletcher Chiropractic, Haddock Energy Efficiency, Dr. Vinyl, Lincoln, amazing people, Hindera Handyman, Relentless Merch, C&L Dairy Sweet, Eagle Haunts, and New Generation.
Awesome.
So we got a pretty loaded car in that. And
Pretty pumped for this year at Eagle.
I am. I'm ready to go for a while. I'm kind of holding back. Like, I don't want to go yet because once that flips or the switch flips, then I know we're going to go nuts.
long.
And it is because I laid out the calendar the other day and trying to figure in when I'm going, what she's doing. Plus, we're laying in some vacations in there because, number one, going on vacations with the families, first and foremost, they have to happen or my wife probably would kill us and not let us race. So that's a big thing. And I completely kind of changed my driver lineup of who I'm sponsoring this year a little bit. So that's probably getting me more excited as well.
Yeah.
Where this is the first year outside myself, I'm not sponsoring another Sport Mod driver.
Really?
And it used to be I primarily did Sport Mod drivers, and I only did people that race at Eagle Raceway and kind of mixing that up. So.
I think this is probably the most excited I've been, and it's not to say that I've never been excited about a season at Eagle, but Eagle, the thing that I really loved about it with working at I-80 and Eagle was like, okay, it's simple. Every Saturday we start at this time. We have these classes. It's easy. I-80 was always kind of this. As you're cooking, you're throwing in different stuff, and you would have to prep yourself as you're getting ready on that Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, what classes are we running this week? What's the sponsor for this week's class? What's this? And so it was always something different. And then when I-80 closed, it was like I got one Saturday night, and it's easy. Now this year, it's like, oh, wait, now we've got the High Limits show coming back. We've got the Lucas Oil late models. We've got the Stewart Alley Memorial at the end of the year. Like, there's a couple of little – now we're kind of reaching into the cabinet and throwing in a couple of different spices and kind of changing things up, and I'm getting pretty excited for it.
Well, yeah, it adds to it. And Racine emailed me last week or 2 weeks ago and said, all right, we need to know. This is now that it's another year, and here we get another billboard or get a designer billboard. So I'm going through the ads. I'm going through tweaks of everything for that. So it's like, all right, I know we're getting close.
Now we're getting started.
Our marketing is getting ready to go out there, and I just love it. It's a blast. It's always a good time.
It's a lot of fun. We have too good of a time sometimes.
Absolutely.
Theron Ahlman of Avid Realty. Give out some love. Avid Realty on social media. You guys have one page. You and Kyle manage it both, or you guys have separate pages?
Kyle and I each have our own Avid page, as do our other agents. So everybody's got their own Facebook page. The main page is Avid Realty on Facebook, and we always do, or I started this when I first sponsored the Sport Mods. After every night, we go down and we interview the winning drivers, and that are the winning driver of the Sport Mods. And then so we blast that out on our Facebook. So if people want to hear the winning driver kind of talk to us, we throw it out there. And my biggest thing with that is I try to hit it a little different than I know your ones are. I'm big, obviously, on the sponsor side of things.
Yeah.
So I always want to know who are their sponsors, who gets them there. I don't care if we're a little longer because I like to get that out there, because obviously on my end, that's the most important thing is the sponsors and taking care of them.
Yeah, when I created that, I was like, I just want it to be like a minute of just quick conversations, and sometimes you hit that minute, sometimes you go 3 or 4 minutes. If you got a guy like Ryan Gillen is a good talker. I'm drawing blanks on good. It was Chad Anderson.
Okay.
When Chad Anderson won his race, he talked for 4.5 minutes straight.
Nice.
I'm like, that's unusual for a driver.
Well, on my end, I think it's Matt Andrews is probably the most interesting guy. There's unique things of he'll buy a shirt or want a certain shirt of ours. Like he wanted teal, and it's because of a certain reason. Like he's way more out there in uniqueness and thought than, I hate to say this, than when you look at him and what you think Matt might be.
Yeah.
Great guy, but it's just every time I talk to him, super unique, super cool in that, he'll –
another layer of the onion comes off?
Yeah, like he'll buy a hat because it's donating to something or whatever. He's just an amazing, amazing guy. And that
he absolutely is. I missed seeing him this year at Eagle, or last year at Eagle, so hopefully we'll see him again.
I bet you he'll be back. It looks like he got a new motor. I mean, you're seeing everybody going to Open Motors, and you're like, ooh, crud, I hope my crate can halfway keep up with them guys.
At Eagle, you should be okay.
Well, we'll
see. You go
see.
to bigger tracks, we'll see.
Yeah, I just got to avoid walls and light poles.
Yeah, well, they come out of nowhere.
They do.
Theron Ahlman of Avid Realty driving the 2A Sport Mod around Eagle and around the Midwest this summer. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's going to do it for us at turn number 1. Dirk and I are going to be right back in turn number 2.